You don't stumble into greatness. You don't fall into discipline. You don't wake up one day with a winner's mindset. Winners are built, forged, tempered. A real winner lives by rules, non-negotiable codes that demand sacrifice, demand consistency, demand everything. If you want to dominate in life, you must master these 3 rules and never look back. Comment: I'm built for this, if you're ready to become unstoppable. Rule #1. Winners take full control of everything. No excuses, no blaming, no crying about what went wrong. If it happened, it's yours. You didn't prepare enough. You didn't push hard enough. You didn't demand more from yourself. You take the hit. You learn. You move. The moment you stop outsourcing responsibility, you start building power. Power is control. Control is freedom. And freedom is the first fruit of discipline. Losers wait for conditions. Winners create conditions. If you can't control yourself, don't even think about controlling results. Rule #2. Winners demand pain, not avoid it. They run toward the resistance. If it's hard, they double down. Why? Because the harder it is, the fewer people are willing to do it. That's where domination lives, in the zone where everyone else quit. You think you'll win by staying comfortable? That's cute. Winners know growth is pain, change is pain. Becoming a different version of yourself requires the death of who you used to be. That's not comfortable. That's war. Control is not optional. It is the first law of winners. If you don't master yourself, you'll be mastered by everything: your emotions, your cravings, your distractions, your past. Winners do not bow to circumstance. They dominate it. They wake up every day and declare, I run this, because they do. Stop negotiating with weakness. Stop giving your lower self a microphone. Every time you say just this once, you hand over power. Every time you say, I don't feel like it, and listen to that voice, you confirm you're still a follower of comfort. And comfort is a thief. It robs you of your edge. Control starts in the mind. You can't fix your habits until you fix your thoughts. The loser says, I'll try. The winner says, it will be done. One is hope. The other is command. Your mind listens to tone, and it obeys the strongest voice. Make sure it's yours. Winners schedule discipline like it's oxygen. They don't fit it in. It is the structure. It is the reason. It is the rhythm of every day. While others chase dopamine, winners chase control. One feels good for a moment. The other feels right for a lifetime. Ask yourself, do you really want to win? Or do you want to feel like you're trying? Most people don't want the pressure of owning their results. That's why they stay stuck. But the top 1%, they beg for it. Pressure makes them sharper, cleaner, colder. It's the cost of greatness. You will not rise by accident. You rise by decision. And the first decision is this: I will control everything within me before I try to change anything around me. Pain is not the enemy. It's the signal, the marker, the threshold. If it doesn't hurt, it's not real. If it's not uncomfortable, it's not growth. Pain is the price every winner pays, and they pay it with pride, because pain means one thing: you're in the process of becoming. Losers avoid pain and stay the same. Winners lean into it and evolve. Every rep that burns, every hour that drains, every moment that breaks your limits, that's where you build the edge no one else will have, the edge that separates average from elite. Discomfort is the seed of domination. You don't grow by repeating what you've mastered. You grow by doing what terrifies you, what exhausts you, what stretches you so far you forget who you were before you started. That's how the future you is born. Stop asking, how can I make this easier? Start asking, how can I make myself harder, tougher, sharper, more unshakable? Because when life hits, it doesn't care about your mood. It only responds to how much you've trained your mind to endure. If it's painful, that's a sign you're in the arena. Everyone else is in the stands, watching, talking, judging, but you're out there bleeding for your legacy. That's the only pain that matters. That's the pain that pays you back in full. The path of winners is paved with suffering, but that suffering transforms into strength. Every scar becomes armor, and one day that armor is what protects your legacy from ever being broken. Your feelings don't matter. Your standards do. Winners don't ask themselves how they feel. They ask one question: what does my standard require of me today? That's it. No debate, no delay, no negotiation. You either operate at your standard or you don't. And if you don't, you lose. Most people wake up hoping they feel motivated. Winners wake up and execute regardless. Discipline is not emotional, it's mechanical. It doesn't care about your mood, your stress, or your excuses. It only cares about the job getting done. If you only move when you're motivated, you'll be outworked by the disciplined every time. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is fire. One fades, the other sustains. Winners are fueled by habits that never miss because they don't rely on fleeting emotion, they rely on anchored identity. You don't build a winner's life by reacting. You build it by deciding in advance who you are. When you declare, I don't miss, I don't skip, I don't bend, you eliminate 99% of your battles. There's nothing to argue with. The rule is the rule. The standard is law. Your future doesn't need your feeling. It needs your actions. Show up when it's boring. Show up when it's hard. Show up when it feels like nothing is working. That's the grind most people run from. That's the grind that creates greatness. Winners live above emotion. They feel the same fear, doubt, and laziness, but they don't obey it. They rise above it. They walk through the fog. Because they know this truth, the standard you set is the life you get. Look around. The people you allow into your life are either pulling you forward or holding you back. There is no neutral energy. There is no kind of supportive. Winners audit their circle, like their life depends on it, because it does. If you surround yourself with softness, you will become weak. Losers cling to comfort. They hang with people who validate mediocrity. They fear outgrowing their circle because they mistake loyalty for obligation. But winners upgrade their circle the moment it stops aligning with their mission. They don't ask permission. They don't explain. They elevate, and they don't look back. Energy is contagious. If you spend every day with lazy minds, you will think lazily. If you surround yourself with complainers, you will start seeing problems instead of solutions. Your environment will program you whether you like it or not. Winners seek pressure. They sit with savages. They surround themselves with people who push them, challenge them, sharpen them. If you're the strongest in your circle, you're in the wrong room. You need people who make you uncomfortable in the best way possible. You don't owe access to anyone, not family, not friends, not your past. If they drain you, distract you, or pull you off purpose, they don't belong. You are not here to babysit other people's comfort zones. You are here to dominate your own destiny. Cut weak ties. Replace small minds with big vision. Build a circle where greatness is the norm. And if that means walking alone for a while, good. Walk alone. Winners are forged in solitude, not popularity. A winner doesn't flinch when the world throws a punch. He already saw it coming. Why? Because he planned for it. Anticipation is a weapon. Most people live in reaction mode, always behind, always catching up, always surprised. But winners, they move first, they think ahead, they play the long game. The average person waits until it's urgent. A winner moves before the crisis. He's not scrambling when problems show up. He's prepared. He's built systems. He's trained his responses. He doesn't collapse in chaos. He thrives in it because he's not emotional. He's strategic. You can't win by reacting to life. You win by designing it. You build your days like a machine. You engineer your time like your future depends on it, because it does. The undisciplined waste hours. Winners weaponize them. Don't confuse busyness with power. Activity without intention is just noise. The world is full of people running in circles, bragging about how grindy they are. But winners, they move with precision, with purpose. They don't just hustle, they dominate with direction. Winners think in decades, not days. They sacrifice now to own later. They're not looking for quick dopamine. They're not impressed by short wins. They're building empires, and every empire starts with a blueprint. Your mind is your command center. If you don't lead it, you'll follow chaos. So take control, map the battlefield, move first. Make life respond to you, not the other way around. Nobody is born with an unbreakable mindset. It's earned, forged, built through repetition, failure, correction, and relentless commitment. The mind of a winner is not a gift. It's a decision, repeated until it becomes identity. While others are wondering if they have what it takes, winners are already becoming it. You're not weak, you're undisciplined. You're not lost, you're distracted. You're not broken, you're untrained. Stop diagnosing yourself with failure and start programming yourself for victory. Your brain listens to your habits more than your hopes, and it obeys your patterns more than your potential. Winners program themselves every single day through what they read, what they watch, what they speak. They don't feed their minds junk and expect clarity. They don't drown in noise and expect to hear purpose. They cultivate their thoughts like crops because they know their future depends on it. What you tolerate in your mind becomes what you accept in your life. If you allow doubt to stay, it will. If you give excuses oxygen, they will grow. But if you starve weakness and flood your system with truth, power, and purpose, you will transform completely. A winner's mind is not kind to weakness. It's ruthless about direction. It doesn't waste time debating lies. It crushes them with truth, and it repeats that truth until every cell in your body believes you are who you say you are. You're not waiting to become a winner. You're training for it. Every thought you choose is a rep. Every decision you make is a brick. Build the mind now and the life will follow. Winners give up good to gain great, period. They don't cling to comfort. They don't hold on to distractions. They don't keep habits that entertain them, but sabotage their purpose. If it doesn't serve the vision, it doesn't survive. Sacrifice isn't a maybe. It's the entry fee for greatness. Losers keep asking, can I have both? Can I party and progress? Can I scroll and focus? Can I half try and still win? No, you can't. The winner already made the decision most people avoid. I will burn the bridge to my old life and never look back. You don't rise by adding more. You rise by cutting weakness, cutting laziness, cutting noise, cutting the cheap dopamine that poisons your momentum. You want a new life. Start by subtracting everything that built the old one. Every time you say yes to your future, you say no to something else. That's the rule. That's the price. You can't have it all. And the people who try to end up with nothing, winners are surgical, focused, brutal about what gets cut and why. Sacrifice isn't about suffering. It's about alignment. You're choosing what matters more. You're choosing long-term gain over short-term relief. That's what the top 1% do. They don't chase pleasure. They pursue purpose. And they do it with fire in their veins. The winner doesn't mourn what's lost. He celebrates what's coming. He knows that what he's building will outlast every cheap thrill he gave up. The mission matters more. The vision burns hotter. And the reward, it belongs to the one who was willing to pay. Winners don't waste time hoping. They act. They don't pray for shortcuts. They sharpen their discipline. They don't sit around visualizing success without sweat. They move fast, aggressively, repeatedly, because they know wishing is passive, but work is power. Everyone wants it, but almost nobody wants to earn it. They dream big but work small. Winners reverse that. They work big, obsessively, relentlessly, because they understand the harsh truth. Success is leased, and rent is due every single day. You don't get to keep momentum. You have to earn it, over and over. You show up when no one steps clapping. You grind when no one steps watching. You build when nobody believes. That sets the test. That sets the filter. And most people fail because they step still waiting to feel ready. But readiness is a lie. You don't wait for confidence. You create it through motion. Every rep you don't skip. Every hard choice you don't avoid. Every day you stack results. Confidence is built in silence, not speeches. There is no arrival. There is no finish line. There is only now, and the now demands work. Winners don't chase balance. They chase impact. They're not measuring how fair life is. They're too busy dominating the space where others quit. You either train your habits or your habits train you. And make no mistake, life is keeping score. Every late start, every skipped rep, every excuse, that's the tax, the debt. And one day the results show exactly what you paid for. Waiting is the disease. Dependency is the poison. Winners don't wait for help. They don't pray for rescue. They don't look around hoping someone sees their potential. They become the one who saves themselves. The sooner you accept that no one's coming, the faster you rise. Most people waste years waiting for the right opportunity. They wait for approval. They wait for the pain to stop. But winners, they move through the storm. They stop waiting for perfect conditions and start creating them. If the door's locked, they build a new one. When you finally realize no one's coming to do it for you, your entire mindset shifts. You stop playing small. You stop entertaining weakness. You stop waiting to be picked. You pick yourself. And when that happens, you become unstoppable. Ownership is power. When you own everything, your flaws, your pain, your growth, you can change anything. But the second you blame, the second you outsource your struggle to the world, you give up the right to change it. That's why most stay stuck. Not because they can't win, because they won't own it. You want freedom? Then you take full command. You lead yourself. You coach yourself. You correct yourself. You hold yourself to a higher standard than anyone else ever will. Because if you're not your own leader, you'll always follow someone with less vision than you. Winners don't need a rescue. They become the rescue. And from that moment forward, they never look back. Focus isn't optional. It's life or death for your goals. Distraction is the modern-day assassin, and it's dressed like entertainment, like convenience, like harmless fun. But every second you give to distraction, you bleed momentum. And winners, they don't bleed. They protect their attention like it's gold. The average mind is addicted to noise, scrolling notifications, dopamine. They wake up and immediately feed chaos to their brain, and then wonder why they feel lost. But winners, they guard the gates. No morning chaos, no mental clutter, no weakness disguised as catching up. You have to get violent about your vision, ruthless. You can't tiptoe toward greatness while being pulled in 1,000 directions. That's how dreams die, slowly, silently, while you're distracted by nonsense. Winners know this. That's why they operate in silence while the world scrolls itself to death. Time is your sharpest weapon or your fastest killer. There's no in-between. And if you waste today, you don't just lose hours. You lose alignment, energy, and progress. The winner doesn't just protect his time. He multiplies it. He removes what's useless and invests what matters. Distraction is not just entertainment, it's betrayal. Every time you choose it, you're betraying the future version of yourself, the one waiting for you to level up, the one that depends on your discipline. And that version will never arrive if you keep answering every buzz and beep like a trained dog. Kill the noise. Block the nonsense. Guard your mind like a fortress. Because only when your focus is locked can your power be unleashed. Winners don't relive failure. They extract the lesson, burn the rest, and move fast forward. Without apology, without hesitation. The past is dead weight. Dragging it only slows you. Winners don't carry what's been, only what's becoming. The weak cling to memories. They replay losses. They rehearse pain like a script. But winners rewrite it. They turn breakdowns into blueprints. They don't ask, why did this happen to me? They demand, how can I weaponize this and win anyway? There is no victory in regret, only in resolve. The resolve to become the kind of person who can't be stopped. The resolve to push through every wall, to rise after every fall, to treat every scar like sacred armor and every setback like sacred training. You are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not the version of you that quit, doubted, hesitated, or delayed. That person is gone. You buried them the moment you chose these rules. The moment you declared, I don't look back, I build forward. You want to know the real difference between the average and the elite? It's not talent. It's not timing. It's not even skill. It's the decision to never look back, to live by rules so sharp they cut through weakness, so clear they never fade, so real they transform you. So now it's your move. The rules are simple. Own everything. Embrace pain. Never retreat. If you can do that, you're not just on the path to winning, You are the path. If you've made it this far, drop a 100 in the comments. It shows you are part of the 1% that's improving every single day.